each other, to our human, and we envy Israel. We cannot tolerate the existence of Israel, a sovereign, non-Muslim state, successful, built, great economy, $600 billion GDP, while fighting 20 countries. And not only that, being stabbed by the West as well. So it's really unbelievable when someone like Tucker Carlson, with a huge platform, millions and millions of people are following him, and he says it. He says that Christians are declining since the establishment of the State of Israel. It's like, what about 14th century of Islamic history? What about the suffering of Christians since the inception of Islam? What about my ancestors who were forced to convert to Islam? No, nothing of that. They are feeding the Western audience all these lies. And this is the last sentence I'm going to say, and I'm done after that. I just want to say that my mission is this: to protect the West, the culture, the civilization that my current faith want to see that damage happening again in the West, because the destruction, the chaos that we have suffered is coming to the West, is infiltrating the West, and it all has been reduced to one thing: Israel versus Islamic Jihad. If you want to protect the West, you have to side with Israel. You have to stand by Israel. This is not optional. This is not just a different country.
I've been reading your threads recently, and some of your Substack articles. They're always good, but they've been really sharp and on point recently.
Well, his blood is boiling when he's got all this prop from Tucker and others who don't understand what's coming for them, and they're literally selling out the country, and they're pretending like they're patriots, and they're running, literally running an op on America. And you bring out, Miss Universe of I'm reading the story that she's a KGB PLO Arafat asset, and they bring her up out of like the dungeons of I don't know wherever. Get her on show. Like that doesn't happen really well. So
the reason why we did that is because Keegan lied, he used selective outrage, he likes to take advantage of people, play with people's emotions, and try to group everyone together to go against people. So for us to fucking go out of our way to attack JB or Brad or Roger or anyone else for that matter, for him would be fucking asinine. So that's really why he's upset. He's upset because we didn't group with him and attack Brad and all these for him. So that's what he does.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Only Hair has over 50 PRs.
Y'all love it. Every one of you loves to stir the pot and create a lot of chaos.
Never become a congressman. Go. Type it in the chat. Say it out loud. 50 reasons why John Kitover should never become a congressman.
He makes enough women.
That's a lie. That's a lie. You're gonna put 50 reasons to lie.
He's white.
Okay. That's a lie. I'm triracial. I'm triracial. I'm part Jewish. I'm part German. I'm part English. I'm part Russian. That's not true. I wore my underpants, and you got a picture of my underpants in your cell phone.
Get out.
And to lead the way in how to deal with this whole Hamas-Palestinian problem.
Somebody
It's going to flow on into the rest of all the other countries, like, what we're all dealing with, the same potential problem in the future. And so I thought that it gave a nice, clear vision of what needs to happen. And in the sense that it's got to a point where Israel really needs to be on more of an offensive. It's no more defensive stuff.
This is where I disagree on this. So the Western nations, including the U.S., considering they caused UNRWA and they caused the Palestinian problem since 48, since 67, definitely Arafat, it is the responsibility for American Western civilization to say Palestinianism, which is what I call it, Palestinianism. Took that from Einat Wolf. Not just Israelophobia, like Brendan Daly mentions from Spike TV, who's one who talks about the post-Catholic phenomenon of the new religion in Ireland is Israelophobia. I call it Palestinianism because this starts from U.S.-based, or obviously KGB-based, but the spreading of this narrative and everything after the Oslo Accords comes from the ilks of the Samantha Powers, the Maher Bitar, the organizations in the West, mostly in America with our tax dollars here, and with some of the Western countries. It is being propped up and pushed out, including by a NATO ally of ours, which is Turkey, the other media center. The other one is Qatar. Israel cannot do that. It has to literally come from the West, who are like, because it's based on law and order. It's to dismantle the United States. They say to dismantle Australia. They say we're anti-imperialist, anti-colonialists over here. You've got it's being pushed by the Chinese, and the U.S. is in a cold war with the Chinese, not the Israelis at this point. So it is our responsibility to stop a Marxist, communist, anti-American movement, because that is what Palestinianism is. Okay, that is it's separate from what the Israelis are going through. It has to come out of the U.S. as a anti-American, pro-Marxist movement. It has to do with the ICE, the No Kings movement, Occupy Wall Street. It has to do with the net zero, carbon zero. I posted some of this stuff on my feed. It's all laid out over there. And
the tracks, stuff, it's all, yeah.
Such the point in the West, the term Palestinian is identity, and like a Palestinian,
like gender identities. But I wanted to hear from Masad for 1 second on something.
Mind-blowing to me, and the fact that everybody using that term like acceptable, and then you question my identity. I mean,
I agree with you, Yadina. What I'm trying to highlight.
It can't come from Israel. It has to literally come from the West. You can't have a lack of law and order. You can't have protests lasting 2 straight years for a movement that also incorporates the medical freedom, like the net zero and the climate change people like Greta Thunberg. If you look at all the organizations that are China funded, right, like the Code Pink and everything, and then all the ones on the left that they've put out, the ones that Bernie Sanders runs, the Center for American Democracy, this all has to do with a Marxist Maoist movement, and we are at war right now with China and its proxies. It has to come from the West. The UK has to say it, the US, the French has to say it, the Canadians need to say it, the Australians need to say it. If they don't, the US is going to say it, but we're going to designate the Muslim Brotherhood, and then there's going to be a trickle-down effect of what that looks like. We literally funded this to occur through years and years and years, through UNRWA, through not pushing back on the UN, to what Samantha Powers did. It's been funded and organized by a subversion. Under Obama, Maher Bitar, Samantha Powers, that whole. So it has to come from us, so that it never happens again. So that you have buy-in both from the left and the right, because it is a funding thing. The next kind of president that comes in will start to refund UNRWA, UNIFIL, like the whole money to the Palestinian camps. It will keep the UNHCR thing going. It will allow for a special designation for Palestinians to go on forever. That has to be changed. All these lawsuits of victims from October 7th, all of it is being officiated inside of the U.S. Supreme Court, not in other states. So because of that, because of U.S. citizens, right, that were killed and injured, the Taylor Force Act, these, economic statecraft, basically enabling all the terrorists in the world against Israel. Like that, it has to come out of the U.S. or it will not make any difference. Nobody wants to hear it out of Israel. It needs to come from the West. If it's not generated, created here, pushed out here, Americans will not learn the same mistake that they've made for how many years when it comes to the Gulf countries, like we're making right now. Where they own so much of our land in America, the Gulf countries, all of them, including Georgetown. If it doesn't come from us, we will not have the change that we need. Then it's only going to be superficial. That's my formula.
Pressure put onto Egypt, Qatar, those countries to take in the people who are currently suffering Gaza.
That
So
is
when I
literally
You're
because
the
of
racist,
years
the
and years and years
you're all
of
conspiracy theorists,
relationship
Jew
between the
haters,
Americans
and y'all
and
just
the
a bunch of
Pan-Arabism
racists.
and the
I'm gonna should be
obsession with that
ashamed of
region, and
themselves
they
for
cannot
sharing
handle
a
the
stage
security
with a
thing.
bunch of
So
racists like
they're not
you.
allowing it because
Y'all
Egypt cannot have
fucking
110
racist.
million people attacking
Bunch
there
of
and then attacking
racists.
Israel, and we're having another
I've
war.
heard you in
That's
other
the reason
rooms
why.
with nothing
It is
but a
literally to quell
racist rapper.
the 110 million people living in Egypt on the other side of the border, which the U.S. is funding their military and all these other things, but that can easily collapse, and then they can be turned by, let's say, Qatar, because they have trillions of dollars. They can start buying up people inside of the Egyptian military, and you can have a coup, a funded coup by the Qataris there, and nobody would ever know until it can be patient. That's it. And whatever they're planning. And they be changing daily. So there's not even any point for we don't need a solution. They need to come up with it, something that's agreed by America. The same way he brought all these world leaders and sat there and they had to take notes like they're little children about Ukraine and Russia and NATO is the same way he's going to have to bring them along, which I know he will, regarding what the plan is with this Gaza situation. Because as long as Netanyahu lives, and as long as Donald Trump lives, they're not going to they can't let a foreign body inside of Gaza, like a Gulf country, that could then turn around and do something very bad to Israel. The land over there essentially needs to stay empty forever.
Well, I thought that's what I was saying,
Right,
because
yeah.
I'm trying to say that there cannot be any Palestinian or any other people living in Gaza anymore. That has to change.
But the West Bank is still, and so is Israel proper, right? So that's a consideration. A lot of them have family members in those other regions, right? So that's another issue that you're going to have to deal with.
The Gaza Strip is the Israeli authority, and Gaza people can still live there still.
I can't hear what you're saying here, Dana. What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were quiet before. What did you say?
I'm just saying, it's not really true.
What's not true?
Stop.
Israel can take control of Gaza land, and Gazan people can live there. As long as they agree to Israel territory of it. That's it.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
It's like that. No, but
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
That one second. I understand the emotion.
No, it's not emotion. I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Then we live here. I live here.
I'm telling you, I know more than you on this subject, and it's never going to happen. Ever going to happen. You're not going to have a full Israeli military on the ground in Gaza and have that population there while you need to rebuild the whole area. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to get new votes. You're going to have a new person come in. You're going to have elections. You're going to have elections in Israel. There won't be Bibi Netanyahu, and then you're going to end up in the same situation you guys were before. It's not going to happen.
Bye, baby.
So on the ground. Still, I'm here. I'm here in Israel.
It doesn't matter you're on the ground. These decisions are being made inside of the White House. They're not being made on the ground. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure Bibi's voted on by the people of Israel, not by your opinion.
So you basically telling me that the White House elected the Prime Minister over here in Israel?
The Prime Minister is making joint decisions with the United States President because there's many countries that are involved. This is not the point of the conversation.
Trump has told Bibi to do what he needs to do to keep Israel safe and secure. Trump told him, do what you gotta do.
Oversight. The U.S. has major oversight on what they need to do. It's being discussed daily. Everything is oversight. So again, the problem is many. Hold on a second. Hold on. The problem is many Israelis do not come to my spaces so that they can actually learn what's going on. You had like thousands of people on the street in Tel Aviv doing the exact same thing they've done forever, which is putting the hostage things out front so that Hamas gets more leverage to use against.
But it was not thousand. I was here. I was there in Tel Aviv again.
Yeah, there wasn't 1,000 people. There were 300 people, and the rest is AI.
There was not 1,000 people. The recorded police number that reported the Channel 14 was 80,000 people. There was not 350,000 people. That's what I'm trying to.
Okay, so 80,000 people were on the ground, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when 80,000 people go on the ground in Israel, when 80,000 people, let me explain to you. When 80,000 people go on the ground in Israel for the hostage thing and what's going on, you give Hamas such a heavy control over everything that's going on, and that's the problem here, Dana. And the fact that that's still being done in Israel shows to me that there's plenty of money left from the NGOs that are funded from Europe, from Norway, from the Middle East, and from the USAID money controlling the ground game in Israel. If people understood that if you go out and talk about the hostages, it literally gives Hamas leverage, then we would be in a different place. That's how I know that there's a lack of education by the Israelis on this particular subject. Because by doing that and creating this international push, it goes back to creating a two-state solution. It's back to not getting the hostages back, releasing more terrorists, and that's not happening. It's directly in contrast to what the Prime Minister of Israel needs or the United States President. It actually stops their efforts, which they still haven't learned since we found out that the Qataris were funding the hostage coordinators from the U.S. on the ground, and all the WhatsApp messages with the Biden administration saying, don't release the hostages. So again, all I see when I see 80,000 protesters on the ground are useful idiots for Qatar, the Muslim Brotherhood, for the Samantha Power people, and for the NGOs funded by individuals that just want to get rid of Netanyahu and don't even care about the hostages when they're doing this stuff. Because you're dealing with psychological warfare. So they gave more media, Mila, if you want to talk about Israel going on the offensive, the least they can fucking do is shut the fuck up about the hostages so that it doesn't seem like it's such a big deal to the terrorists so they can get the hostages out. And they're not doing that. So if anybody actually learned it for the last 2 years that I've been in spaces, this is what I've been talking about. With any hostage negotiation, you never make a big deal from the street level that it shows like you're going to cause a division in a country, because that's literally what the color revolution was done for against Israel, like they're doing now in Poland, like they're doing now, and this is still all the money left from USAID, Samantha Powers, all these left-wing NGOs, the EU, from the Qataris, from the Turkish money, laundered through different organizations, and it's still running. And in 4 years or even midterms, we're going to have the left coming up here. Israel's going to have elections in 2026, and you're going to have a different prime minister, or if something happens with Bibi and he's not able to serve, everybody's going to think they have a prime minister that can do it better than Bibi, and we're going to be in the same fucking shit because you're going to have a new president in the U.S. 2 years after that that's going to be most likely a fucking lefty, because everybody's running around like a moron in this country right now, rather than focusing on taking out Gavin Newsom so he can't run in 2028. And focusing on the Jews, when everybody should be ignoring Israel completely so that Israel can do what they need to do. Instead, every single right-wing influencer and left-wing influencer, all they talk about is this shit. Not Ukraine, Russia, not all the open graves that we just found from ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and from...
It's hilarious.
Which one specifically? Because I just trolled a couple rooms in the past 2 hours.
With Jazzy and Shy. Yeah. I spit out my water. I was laughing so hard.
Has
Jazzy been in anger management? Because she's a lot calmer than she used to be.
You just got to catch her at the wrong time. I've heard her get so explosive. It could come at any moment. So to suggest that she's been through some type of therapy or education would be ludicrous. It's just a question of, is the environment right? And did she feel she get attacked or disrespected? Because that's when she comes in, with her heat.
I don't know, like, she stopped fucking with me about a year ago when I made a room laugh at her. I was like, this bitch is so mad. She's just thrown her wig at the floor.
She's a waste of time. Oh, speaking of another waste of time, look who it is, Dr. Adams, the femboy who goes around reporting rooms and trumping for Darren LaHood. He's going to fix the hood. Well, the campaign is still going, Dr. Adams. I know you and Matt Cool said it was going to end 2 days ago, so here we are. Are men messier than women? Are you messier than a woman sometimes, Dr. Adams?
What's up, lady balls?
How are you doing? What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Tuna, how you doing? How's the sea?
The sea? The sea is good. I'm actually looking forward to not hailing in New Zealand. We've had the sort of antithesis of that hurricane that's about to hit Florida, hitting us for the last 5 days. We've had hail, we've had rain, it's pretty close to us calling Noah and asking him to commission that boat after all.
Hey, Tuna, how far are you from Fiji? How long of a flight?
In flight hours, it's about 4 or 5 hours to recollection. It's been over a decade since I've been to Fiji. But in terms of progress, about 120 years.
No, I've always wanted to go diving there because I heard like diving's really good, but for me to get there, it's 4 hours to LAX, and LAX there, I think it's like 6.5 or 7 hours.
See, if you're going to do that bounce from LAX, I'd say go Western Samoa. In fact, go to Western Samoa for diving, man. Like, you can go and see New Zealand's second most expensive warship, which the woke captain left it in autopilot and crashed it into the very reef that they were there to survey. And then it sank, spewed diesel out before it set on fire, then it sank, then it spilled diesel all over the reef that it was supposed to be inspecting. Job done. What's up, Alan?
Hey, what's going on, Alan?
First, women are messier than men. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
No, I'm sorry, but it's true. They pretend to be cleaner, but in secret, they're very messy. That's. I will not be contradicted on that point.
What do you think, John?
It depends on the personality. I've known some women who are extremely neat, and then other women who are absolute slobs. Unfortunately, the women in my life have all been on the slobby end of the spectrum. So there you go.
Alan, what do you think about women leadership at companies versus male leadership? I don't think females are good leaders. I think males any day.
Hey,
I am in complete agreement.
hey, might I insert something, please?
Go for it.
I'm not a woman, so no.
Was that a yes or no? It's unclear.
I said I'm not a woman, so no, but you can speak.
No, let him speak.
Let him speak.
Consent has been given. What's the follows? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think leader and woman, I think that's an oxymoronic statement. I think those two words don't go together in the same sentence.
So, insecure, and that's why they don't want, some of the many reasons why they don't make good leadership.
Well, it's not in their nature to lead. What does it mean to lead? To lead means to go first. To lead means to go first. Going first takes courage. Going first is testosteronic. It takes balls. Let me ask you something. Who approaches who? Does the sperm approach the egg, or does the egg approach the sperm?
Facts.
Thank you.
So you're telling me that if I go to the bar on a Friday night, if I don't approach an egg, there's never going to be any whoopee?
I think if you're going out on a Friday night and you want to meet women and you're not approaching them, you're a pussy.
So you're saying that I become a pussy and I'm not looking for pussy?
Remember this, John. I want you to write this down. women don't want a pussy because they already have one.
So what are they looking for exactly?
A man.
And what is a man?
If you don't know what the fuck a man is, that's not you.
Before you get to the definition of a man, I wanted to say to Nick, there was an article I read about a woman who wanted to create an all-female company, and the company ended up dying after a year because of all the catfighting and jealousy and the social groups that formed, and the fact that there was one in group and one out group, and they got petty over who was sitting with who during lunch, and then the out group the in group refused to work with the out group, to the point where the head of the company is trying to deal with clients and saying, okay, we'll have this proposal for you on your desk in 2 days. And she couldn't even get it out because her employees, all women, couldn't get it together to understand that what was important was not their little bickering and everything that was going on, but serving the actual client.
So, or John, did I tell you the story in college about the feminist group?
No.
Okay, so there was my school was very liberal, so there was this women's studies group or women's studies like majors, whatever. They were having a bake sale, and a cupcake, it was $1 for a male and 67 cents for a female, right? Because they wanted to show for every $1 a male makes, a female makes 67 cents. So I told this girl, she was kind of my friend in the class, and I'm like, let's go mess with them. And gave her $1, and they saw me give her $1, and she bought a cupcake and then gave it to me. And they're like, oh my God, you're sending us back 30 years, 50 years. She's like, I love it when a man tells me what to do. And they're like, we don't want your money. We don't want your dirty money. I'm like, the cupcake tastes so good. These feminists got so pissed at my classmate or friend. But they went around like trying to prove this. And it doesn't prove it.
Basically, reverse discrimination. One summer I was looking for a job, and I applied to an electronics factory. I would have been working on a line assembling, circuit boards. And the woman told me outright, she said, no, you can't do it. You're a man. Your hands will be too big. Don't even bother coming in. So that's it. And the emotional wounds that I suffered because of that, and the hit it took to my psyche, to this day, it's still a bitter, bitter memory, being rejected like that for employment. It pains me. I think I've milked that long enough.
So I worked at a company. They wouldn't give you your bonus until you went through diversity, equity, inclusion, and cultural bias training and gender differences in communication. So they made you do this fucking training at year end, right before bonus payout, and HR sent out an email saying you have to do this training, and people would blow it off, and they said in big capital letters, your bonus will not be paid out unless you do this training. I mean, it was so fucking stupid.
And do you feel more sensitive now, Nick?
No.
I will tell you the only good thing about it. It's not a completely female company, but one at about 80%, is that as long as that there are men there to keep the women in check, they all try to outdress each other. And I mean, I had a temp job. It was one day, and it was mostly women, and I could barely concentrate because the women I mean, it was like almost evening gowns, approaching that. The level of dressed up bossity, I can't think of the word, that they were achieving. Like, everyone was in heels. Everyone had dresses on. Everyone had makeup on. Everyone had their hair done. It was, and the whole day I'm looking like, trying to do my work. I got fired from the job after one day. It was that bad. But it was, to this, that was what, I still remember that.
It's just funny, like, I've been in jobs where it's very female dominated, and for Christmas they all do this gift exchange, they all lunch and everything, and like the three of us guys were like, what do? We don't do anything. They have the Secret Santa and things like that. As guys, we don't do any of that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are many and numerous things that women bring to the table. Absolutely. Said that, KP.
Of course.
And what's the scariest words your
We
mom
just took her 30 years on the hook.
Wait until your father gets home.
That's funny.
No, that was
The scariest thing to say in a single mother household is wait until your next father gets here. Oh my God, this is never going to happen.
first your mom would beat your ass, and then when your dad got home, you got your ass beaten again.
I would tell you that my father only whooped my ass one time in my life. Only once. I was 5 years old. Didn't get out of bed to go to school. Told me something, time to get up. And when he laid off into my ass, I'm kindergarten. I said, hell no, I'll never want that smoke again. He knew.
Like, that's the thing, you learn your lesson. Are you even allowed to hit kids now or no?
You have to do it in a certain way or CPS is going to be up your ass like a fucking sock puppet.
It's funny. My pediatrician didn't say it outright, but when we asked her, she said, whatever you do, it has to be memorable. And I think that was her code of saying, yeah. And she's from the South too. She had I wouldn't say like heavy drawl, but she had a drawl for sure. So I knew what she was saying.
Whoop that ass. See, both of my parents are from the South. So when they laid off into you, you got laid off into. When they would say, go get a switch. Like, what the fuck? God damn it.
But KP, you could get away with that in the 50s and 60s. My dad used to tell me, well, my dad grew up in Germany, but like, in Germany, like, he said no kid had ADHD, no kid had ADD, no kid had Asperger's. Nobody had any of this shit. He's like, if the kid didn't pay attention, they slapped him, and then all of a sudden they paid attention. Like, I don't know, do you think we need to bring corporal punishment back somewhat? Because these kids are too soft?
In my opinion, yes.
Well, then my dad told me if you got into a fight in school, obviously teachers would break it up, but they would beat both your asses with a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get sent home for the day, and then you got your ass beat at home. But you learned your lesson.
And if you did something wrong in school, when I was growing up, because the elementary school is like right down the street,
did something disrespectful in school, the teacher whooped your ass. Then you had to go to the principal office, get your ass paddled. Then Miss Martha would hear about it. She whooped your ass. Then the next door neighbor heard about it. She whooped your ass. Then you get to the house, you got your ass whooped. You learn your lesson. Don't ever do this stupid shit again.
Then Grandma found out about it. Don't forget Grandma.
See, my grandparents from down south, I'm up here. It's like shit.
Oh, okay.
But, like, say you did something really, really bad. Your uncles will be over here and whoop your ass. So now you have a whole line of men checking you. So that's why I never had, like, any kind of trouble. I was damn scared to get my ass whooped like that.
Correct. I mean, like, yeah, I got phone calls from or stupid shit in class, but it wasn't anything, like, serious. Like, it wasn't like I set something on fire. It was just fooling around in class, and kids would be kids, but it was never anything like that.
And how...
I didn't turn in
I'm sorry.
like if I didn't turn in an assignment or I did something half-assed, stupid shit like that.
And how my school district was, most of those folks came from the South. They all knew each other. So get your ass in the car after school. I'm driving you straight to your mom and dad's house. They all knew each other because they grew up together. I remember 7th grade. I'll never forget this one. I was feeling mad. So I was having a hard time. I was like a C student, and that's a failure. My parents didn't play about school. I got a C in math. So it's, parent-teacher conference, and your first semester or first quarter, whatever, you have your parent-teacher conference. And my mother, because my dad was at work, couldn't make it. My mother walked into school. We just going through like, okay, English A, okay, you got a B plus, okay, math C. Where you going with a C? She looked at the teacher. The teacher called my mother by her first name. She looked at him and said, called him by his first name. And the only thing I could say was, oh fuck, I'm fucked. Got my ass whooped right there on the spot. Because I was fucking up and had a seat.
Wait,
because they came from together.
I don't understand the significance of the teacher called your mother by her first name. Should she have called her by her, Mrs. KP?
No, because they grew up in the same neighborhood.
So you understood that your mother and this teacher were friends. So that was...
way back in the 60s, 40s, 50s. They grew up in the same neighborhood in the South.
So it's like, I got your back on this one, and you got no refuge, kid.
None. Guess what? The next quarter, straight A.
I remember, like, what I used to do is I would only show my parents, like, the good grades, and then the bad ones, I wouldn't show them. And so we went to, like, a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was showing my exam, B, and she's like, D, A, whatever. And I was like, wait, D? I didn't know about that. I thought you were doing better. You always showed me these good test scores. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sure you all know. I don't think anybody utilizes it, but it's still written in Florida law on books that if your child misbehaves at school, and we sign off on the thing every year that we understand this law, and that if our kid misbehaves, that they have every opportunity to spank our children. No, I've never heard of a case where they've done it, but
I mean, look at the stores what some of these kids do. If you ever go to like a grocery store, you see these kids how they misbehave. I'm like, if I did that, I don't want to know what would have happened when I got home.
And Nick, you want to know something else? The same math teacher. I was 19. I went over to Windsor. Go to the casino, right? Don Cherries and all that shit up there partying. I ran across him. When I got back to the dormitory the next morning, my mom and dad called. Where were you at last night? I've been here. I've been in school. You trying to lie? No, the fuck you not. Because I got caught. Got caught in Canada by the same teacher. Went straight to the house and said, hey, I saw your boy over here. He over here gambling. God damn it. Funny as shit. You can't make this shit up.
and the thing is, we all hated it at the time.
Correct.
I mean, it's, jeez. You know, I was always independent, and I hated it. But when you think about it, it's not just that you gotta see, oh my God, you got a woman, because you gotta see. It's that in your mind, you know, geez, if I'm getting this mistreated, no, not that, I don't want to say it that way. If they are getting this upset, if I just get, because I got a C, imagine if I do something worse.
Hey, I just want to say, I just want to do a real quick shout out real quick now. I'm sorry. Sandra, good friend. Give her a follow. She's new to this app, don't know anything about this. Very, very good friend.
Hey, Zandra, welcome. If you're new to the app,
She probably can't find a mute button.
run away. Run away now. Don't look back. Run.
Okay.
I said, run. Get the hell out of here.
Are you married or single?
I'm not married.
Do not use this app for dating.
Right.
Hell no.
In the least. Go out, go places, meet people in real life.
This is worse than waste management. Shit. This app is trash. Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I would say if you're going to be around, you're going to have 50 million guys time in life. Nope.
Yeah, use it to run for Congress and defeat the rhinoceroses running our government, plunging us into eternal and forever debt.
Hello, Kate.
John, you're killing your damn campaign, man.
How am I killing it? I'm killing it because I'm getting petition signatures and I'm raising hundreds of dollars on Clown House?
It's great, okay. Just wanted to apologize. I know last time I said,
who are you?
It's Father Elijah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's me talking, sir.
You think I care about what you said last time?
Not really, but I just wanted to break the ice, just in case there is.
Nah, man, I don't care. Yesterday is yesterday. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, Kay, you did kind of
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I let shit go, man. I don't live day to day and keep everything together. No. If something happened yesterday, brother, or even an hour ago, it's gone.
Yeah, you can dwell on the past. Like, I heard a good quote. It says, there's a reason why your windshield is a lot bigger than your rear view mirror. Because it's the road that lies.
Something to keep going. I don't do that. That's some straight up faggot shit.
Right. That's fair.
It's a feminine trait. Never going to happen.
Right. I respect that, Kate. Can I kindly ask what's the title about so I can partake?
It's open.
What's the title mean? I can't understand it.
Are men more messier than women?
Okay.
And we just kind of free floating through all kinds of
I
titles.
think, though, in general, KP, it's kind of
What's
like
up, Shane?
we're not. Because, like, we'll fight and then we'll just be like, okay, we'll move on. For women, oh, it's crazy, man. They live for the drama and the bullshit.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 with it. I feel like, because here's the thing with social media, man. You know, pre-social media, I would say it's the women who are more chatter, but women just got more enhanced with the kind of is in the gossip and shit because of social media. But I will say I'm gonna add more points into the men because, bruh, these new, I'm telling you, man, I don't know.
YNs, man.
Yeah, maybe kiki like the women do. So going back and forth with the ladies also, I'll just be like, yo, what is going on with the fellas? And they be over here pillow talking and all types of shit. So
I won't disparage because of my affiliation, but MG, please tell them this is not a healthy person to be affiliated with. He does not have the interests of American Jews at heart. Even if he stands for Israel, it's not worth it.
Thank you, Jay. Let me, and I'm not going off what, I'm not trying to deflect off what you said, but I have to say something because he said so much shit. He regurgitated shit from season 2, basically. But John, I'm telling you now, if you act like an asshole, I'm gonna ban you from the house. So let me just say this. How did I get in a position of power in healthy debates? I'm going to tell you, first off, it's none of your fucking business. Second off, people stepped aside because they had real lives to take care of things, and I picked up the mantle. There was no power play. This asshole's like, hey, you didn't want Roger to be an admin. This is Roger's house, you fucking moron. Roger could kick me out tomorrow if he wanted to. What are you talking about? Kelly has real life stuff that she's addressing. It's so fucking stupid that the narratives you people believe. Why am I in charge of healthy debates? Well, Rohan's an admin also, but Rohan lives in Australia, which is 16 hours ahead. He runs rooms at different times. Here's the thing. For you people that hate me, and I tell you all the time, the hate is the one that stokes the engine. But if you haters, if you really hate me that much, take 2 steps to the left and get off my dick.
Like Carl, he's complaining in the chat. He should go, Jeff.
Hold on. But here's the thing. How I got in in control of healthy debates. We're still a team. And what caused what happened in healthy debates is none of your fucking business, you idiots. Who cares? We should get back to the conversation and how we cultivate the conversation in here. What the fuck do you care? It's so stupid. Mitch, you wanted to jump in? Dr. Mitch?
Hi, Jay. No, I'm just here to support. We're all trying to make we're not all trying to make the world a better place, but I think that's the dream, right? Is that we're here to communicate with people all over the world to help make the world a better place. We've got enough crap going on in the world hurting us. We don't need to each other.
Yeah, hold on really quick, JB. To that point, when I was in his room tonight and he started telling his version of what happened to the creators of this club, and he's blaming you for for getting them like unmodded or removed from the house. I'm sitting in the audience thinking, where's he getting this from? Right? I won't name any names.
His imagination.
Right? I mean, even one of the former leaders of this house has recently told me on the back end what happened to why certain people are no longer fully participating, right? And even you have told me this. So when I heard Pepe's narrative, I'm like, wow, this guy is really, I don't know where he's getting this information from, but it's wild. So if any